and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Police say a fight between two men sparked by a dispute involving their dogs turned deadly. Now the Williamsburg Police Department is investigating it as a murder. WYMT's Caroline Mueller spoke with the victim's stepdaughter and police to learn more about what happened.
Police say 60-year-old Richard Cox died Tuesday after an altercation at the Mount Morgan Apartments in Williamsburg with 41-year-old Brian Randall turned violent.
A fight between two dogs is what we believe the fight started from. So when the two dogs started fighting, the two male subjects, we believe, started fighting.
Police say they found Cox unresponsive near this dumpster, and after attempting life-saving measures, he was pronounced dead at the scene by the Whitley County coroner. Cox's stepdaughter, Jenny Tigg, says Cox was walking her sister's leashed dog when Randall's unleashed dog approached them. Her sister's dog then growled at Randall's, leading to the verbal argument.
He started hitting my stepdad. They got into it in that breezeway right there. He got on top of my stepdad, started beating him. He beat the dog, like literally beating. There are several witnesses. My stepdad was literally begging him, please stop, please, I can't see, please stop.
Tigg describes her stepfather as a kind, hard-working man who loved his family.
He was the best man that I knew. Literally everybody that knew Richard would say that he was a hard worker. He was a 60-year-old man, and I swear he would run circles around, he will run circles around the kids. Anytime you've seen him, he was with one of the 4 grandkids, running, chasing, playing.
An autopsy is scheduled for Thursday as police continue piecing together what happened.
But the city of Williamsburg is still a safe place to live, and we believe that this was just an isolated incident, and it doesn't appear that there was any threat to the public at any time.
For Tigg and her family, this loss is devastating.
The man's raised me since I was a kid. He's my dad. I hope you rot. He didn't deserve that.
In Williamsburg, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Randall is charged with murder and is being held at the Whitley County Detention Center without bond. A judge in Pike County ruled that one Pike County man is incompetent to stand trial after a 2023 standoff with police. Police say Robin Bentley fired 100 rounds at 6 law enforcement officers after deputies tried to serve a warrant at his home. He was indicted by a grand jury last year, but his case has been put on hold as the court awaited a mental competency hearing to determine if he can stand trial, which a judge ruled on yesterday, saying he is not competent.
We want to follow the statute for one, and we don't want to be prosecuting somebody that doesn't understand or appreciate the seriousness of the offense against them.
A hearing to decide the next steps has not yet been scheduled. We'll have more about this case coming up tonight at 11. A Clay County woman is dead after a crash in Indiana. It happened in Wayne County, Indiana last Saturday. When police and fire crews arrived, they discovered 2 trucks in a field. They later found out that Nanny Bird of Manchester was unconscious. She was later pronounced dead at the scene. The driver, Troy Bird of Manchester, also had significant injuries. In Pike County, police are searching for a man accused of trespassing on multiple properties. Here's a picture of that man. Police say they received several complaints about him trespassing on properties in the Scott Avenue area. If you have any information, you can call Pikeville Police at 606-437-5111. In Knott County, police are investigating after a burglary where items were stolen out of a classroom. Officials say the incident happened during winter break at Knott County Central High School. They say more than $12,000 worth of equipment was taken from the agriculture department classroom, including power tools and electronics. If you have any information about this, you can contact KSP at 606-435-6069. Law enforcement in Perry County want to alert folks about a phone scam going around. Police say someone is calling saying they are a Sergeant Glenn in an attempt to extort money from people. The caller is reportedly telling people they need to make a payment after missing a court date. Police say if you get a call like this, to hang up the phone immediately. Officials with the Corbin Police Department are urging those living in that area to secure their belongings. Police say they are investigating a series of incidents where a group of likely minors are targeting unlocked car doors and easily accessible storage areas. The incidents have been reported during the night on Maple Lane, 7th Street, and residential areas near the Pepsi plant. Patrols have been increased as a result of those incidents.
Well, as advertised, we had plenty of sunshine and temperatures today, only in the 20s and 30s. Here's the latest with live pinpoint Doppler radar scanning the skies, not showing a single drop of rain, single drop of snow, not a cloud in the sky. We had wall-to-wall sunshine today, but again, the big story today was that temperature. We should be at 44 on the high end, only made it into the 20s and 30s, mid-30s towards Harlan, upper 30s towards Jacksboro, 32 in Somerset, 23 in Moorhead. Prestonsburg's at 27, or was at 27. That was the high. Pikeville made it to 26 degrees, and right now, Pikeville's at 24. We're at 25 in Jackson, 21 in Moorhead, 30 in Somerset, 34 is the current temperature in Jacksboro. And you factor in that wind, some places have a little bit of a bite in the air, especially towards Jackson, where it feels like temperature is 19 degrees. So the forecast for tonight plays out like this. We'll go to 19 degrees for the overnight low. We'll keep the wind out of the south around 5 to 10. That southerly wind is going to be a key component for the forecast tomorrow because we are going to warm up throughout the day with highs going back into the upper 30s and low 40s. And that trend will continue for the weekend with a caveat, and I'll tell you what that is, plus a big cool down coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. A major fire in downtown Middlesboro yesterday afternoon destroyed the storage building for Cardwell Furniture on the corner of 20th Street and Cumberland Avenue. Nobody was hurt, but the historic building was destroyed and partially collapsed. WYMT's Amelia Lee was in Bell County today, where she spoke with city officials about the impact of this fire.
Folks in Middlesboro are in shock after a community staple went up in flames on Tuesday.
It was the first JCPenney's in the state. It's been a lot of things that hold a lot of memories for our community.
Celia Schaffner says just seconds after seeing smoke, the Middlesboro Fire Department was at the scene.
The fire started up high on the 3rd floor, and within just a matter of an hour or so, the facade of the building collapsed, and it was absolutely devastating to watch.
Firefighters are continuing to suppress and contain the fire that you can see behind me since around 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. Now, the fire chief tells me if they had gotten there any later, things could have taken a turn for the worse.
This building could have very well been a block burner. It could have turned into, we could have lost a half of a city block to a whole city block.
The Middlesboro Fire Department did not work alone. Mutual aid response came from surrounding areas, getting the fire under control within an hour.
We was blessed. The Lord was looking over us and helped us keep it right here.
People are thinking of the Cardwell family, who lost their building and everything in it.
They've been in Middlesboro longer than I've been alive, and probably 3 or 4 of my lifetimes. You know, and it's just, if you hear something with one of those last standing true Middlesboro businesses and part of the heritage of our city, losing something like that's it's just heartbreaking.
The cause of the fire has not been released. In Middlesboro, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say some downtown roads will stay closed for the next 2 days at least, but they say most downtown businesses are still open, and so are most of the sidewalks. Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman has unveiled Kentucky's first ever toolkit to handle strangulation cases. Coleman says the manual, which covers how to handle both medical and prosecutorial responses to strangulation, is one of the first of its kind in the country, and something he hopes can be a framework to be used in other states.
It is so nice for Kentucky to lead. It is so nice. We end up on the bottom so oftentimes of lists we want to be on the top of, and on the top of lists we want to be on the bottom of.
Medical professionals say the manual's guidelines for strangulation evaluation will help identify both visible and non-visible signs of abuse. A Johnson County native has been selected as the new chair of the Veterans Committee in the Kentucky House. Representative Bobby McCool of Van Leer was picked as the new chair of the Kentucky House Veterans, Military Affairs, and Public Protection Committee. In a statement, McCool says he will advocate for policies that strengthen Kentucky and make it a more military-friendly state.